Yo, what up, what up, what up? Y'all know the deal, man. Like and share, like and share, like and share, so we get this thing out everywhere. There's anywhere in the world you could be. We told you right here with me, the BABG, and my man Big Aaron. What's up, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's going on, family?
Hey, man, you got it, man. So, y'all may not know this or suspect this of his very stoic demeanor, but brother Aaron rocks the tinfoil hat, do-rag, and of course, smoker's jacket. All right. He's very adept and knowledgeable in the realm of the extraterrestrials. We're gonna have a nice little conversation tonight, man. Continue what we was talking about last week. So Aaron, being that you've been out in the field, you've been out in wide open spaces and on ships and stuff like this. Have you, brother, ever witnessed anything of the UFO?
Yeah, I definitely have seen at a distance phenomenon that defies our ability to operate within the laws of physics. Both aerial phenomenon, surface level phenomenon, and phenomenon that seem to have submerged or disappeared below the horizon without actually being out over the horizon. These moments, a lot of it was brief. It could have been anything, but it just was unorthodox in the way it behaved. It just didn't seem possible.
And I think that's something that we get right once you see the highest speed, the best operating capable aircraft operate, and then you see some shit that literally, like I said, defies physics and defies the capabilities of even the best motherfucking jets out. That right there, man. I don't think most people ever even witness like a sonic boom or anything, or like seeing you know what I'm saying? So breaking the sound barrier in real time. So man,
to witness something like a carrier landing or an F-22 break into an unrestricted climb. We're talking about 0 to 10,000 feet of altitude in less than 10 seconds. Like you said, sonic boom, shout out to you.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, bro, it's crazy. And like you said, once you understand that, and then it's immediately because you're like, hold on. Nah, motherfucking F-22, F-35, F-18 can't do that shit. What the fuck was that? What was that? And what's so crazy is, I was helicopters, and I've heard helicopter pilots talk about those things because a lot of the, the pilots are the ones that see it because one of the theories is the they like, of course, operating in wide open spaces because there's nothing there, no interference, and they probably just endless whatever. But of course, once you get the frequencies and the radio systems or whatever, they're attracted to it and they sense it. So now, you know what I'm saying, you have the interactions or the interference or whatnot, man. So it's crazy, to know that all these years, there's no UFOs, there's no UFOs, but we already knew what that was, and they said there was no Area 51, and then lo and behold, it's Area 51. You feel me? So yeah.
No, I would agree, man. Shout out to what you just said. I mean, I'm experienced with a little bit, small single engine stuff, but definitely no time at the stick of anything, military level, professional grade. But I can honestly say, majority of the evidence of aerial phenomenon are found looking at IFR, instrument, flight rules versus VFR, visual. I mean, people are seeing things using visual flight rules, but most of the encounters are first spotted IFR. Like you said, your radio frequencies, your radar, your LiDAR, you know what I mean? Ground penetrating radar, all that high speed and, sensor. Infrared. Yeah.
So we're gonna start it off with one of the guys, man, that was one of the first forewarners, right? Of the phenomenon. Our good old man, Mr. William Cooper. Behold the pale horse.
Behold the pale horse.
Like or want the label of a hero or a Rambo or anything like that. I'm no different than any other average American person. I just happened to see something in a particular time in my life that set me off on a search that has resulted in.
What was that?
It was in 1966 when I was with the Navy. One of the things that I saw was a UFO, what they call a UFO. Of course, this wasn't unidentified. This was a craft. And it was approximately the size of a Midway-class aircraft carrier. Came up out of the ocean while I was the port lookout on a submarine between Pearl Harbor and the Portland, Seattle area.
You're muted. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think people understand how, because again, a lot of people don't ever experience these things, real life, real time. How big a damn aircraft carrier is, man. They say aircraft carrier size anything, ascend out of the water, float over it, and then maneuver is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Asking that of a paper airplane, it raises eyebrows. A carrier?
Yeah, carriers.
That's a strip mall.
Yeah, man.
Metallic. It was a machine. There was no doubt about it. It was witnessed by myself, the captain, the officer of the deck, the starboard lookout, the chief quartermaster, Chief Quintero, who took photographs of it. And we were told that it was classified and that we were not to discuss it, not even amongst ourselves. And, all my life, I had never believed in these things, although I had heard many stories about them. But that was probably the most significant, eye-opening, mind-opening event that's ever happened to me in my life. And then later I was attached to Naval Security and Intelligence, and while I was on the intelligence briefing team for the Commander-in-Chief of the Pacific Fleet, I saw top-secret documents that came across my desk in the process of preparing briefings on incidents involving naval ships, naval personnel, or naval stations, and UFOs that flatly stated that UFOs are real. They're machines. They're piloted by extraterrestrial beings.
Another intelligences, in other words.
Right, other intelligences, and that they're interacting with the United States government secretly. And it's really wrong to say the United States government because it's really a secret organization that was created under a governing body called Majesty 12, sometimes called Majority 12, nicknamed MJ 12.
Okay, this is nothing to do with the secret government, is it? This is another branch.
No, this has something to do with the secret government because through this organization, the secret government actually controls the executive branch of the United States of America.
Okay.
And now, crazy enough, we go from that to this shit. and this is like brand new. Okay, so I don't know if you heard this because I just found this out today. Okay, make it larger so everybody can see. Okay, and this is today. All right. Breaking. Former Congressman Matt Gaetz reveals he was once briefed on alien breeding programs where captured aliens were breeding with humans to create a hybrid race.
Yeah. Insert Epstein.
This shit's crazy, man.
Yeah.
This brings a whole new definition to motherfucking the Nephilim and all these different things that the lizard people.
Yeah.
But
Anunnaki, Zeta Reticuli. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, bro. Do you understand what Gates just said? He said the U.S. government briefed him on alien breeding programs, capture aliens breeding with humans to create hybrid race, not UFO sightings, not unidentified objects in the sky, breeding programs. In 2017, the Pentagon confirmed a secret $22 million UFO program called AATIP.
Yeah, ATIP. Yep.
In 2013, David Grush, a former intelligence officer, testified under oath to Congress that the U.S. had recovered non-human craft and biologics. In 2024, the Pentagon opened an official UAP disclosure office. Every year, the story gets wilder and wilder. Every year, it turns out to be true. First, it was UFOs aren't real. Then it was okay, they're real, but they're probably drones. Then it was okay that we've been recovering craft for decades. And now former congressman on camera saying the government is running interspecies breeding programs. Either Matt Gaetz is lying about the classified breeding, which is a federal crime, or the United States government has been keeping the biggest secret in human history and briefed the guy who couldn't even keep his Venmo payments private. Man, this shit is just getting crazier and crazier. And now more people are coming out with stories. You know what I'm saying? Now that I guess like I won't necessarily say the ban has been lifted, but it's okay to talk about these things now because the federal government has admitted to the existence. So now you got everybody coming out, right? Let's see this good fellow right here.
Sees us.
Okay. And describing.
Start taking off towards Quartz Mountain because right at that concealment area, there's a hard right. There's a hard right that goes off to Quartz Mountain. And about a mile, half a mile to a mile down that road, it's all dirt road up, by the way. There's this guy. It looks like he's wearing a uniform like we are. He got battle dress uniform on. So he sees us and he starts to look like he's running, and he's got this really weird run, like his arms are kind of flailing behind him. It's like he was running against the hurricane wind, and it was like he was going to fall over at any time. And I was like, yeah, it's a bit windy today, but it ain't that bad. So it looked really strange. And then I began to notice his skin tone looked like he might be hypothermic. And I'm thinking, oh crap, this dude's been out here. It's freaking freezing out here, because it was a very cold day and the wind was blowing. It was, those cold days where it didn't matter how many layers you had on. And so as we're getting closer, I'm talking to the ranking guy. Hey, we need to slow down. So anyway, I'm thinking this guy's probably in big trouble. I need to pull off my jacket. I need to give him something to get warm real quick. So I'm starting to do that, and we're approaching. And by the time I get my jacket most of the way off, he's right there at the corner of the front of the car. And
so he looks pale? Is that what you're saying?
He looked like an albino with a very bluish kind of undertone. If you could imagine,
So you're assuming you're immediately associating that with he's freezing.
Yeah, because.
So this motherfucker, what was the blue? Who's that? What's the name of that? Who did that damn song? Was it Daft Punk? I'm Blue.
I don't know. I like Daft Punk. Did they do a song? Maybe. It sounds like
I'm blue, blah doo dee, blah doo da, blah.
Oh no. That's oh man. Yeah.
Well, anyway, them motherfuckers. He's talking about this blue. The motherfucker was blue.
That's all I could equate it to. Right. And then as I'm starting to open my door to try to administer aid to this guy, the dude in the front passenger seat screams he's got no ears. And I thought that was pretty rude, because I was like, the guy's in trouble.
Does he have a hat on? He's
got a hat on, and he's got BDUs that look absolutely clean, pristine. And when you're uprange, you do not wear your cleanest uniform. You're in a dirty environment. You wear your scuffed up boots. You don't take them with you.
So he's got a clean battle dress uniform.
Everything. I'm
United
like,
States military.
Very out of
uniform.
place. Yeah, it looks very out of place when I finally do it. But anyway, I step out onto the roadway, and this guy screams that he's got no ears. And I just thinking it's really rude. And then I close the door and I look up and he's got no freaking ears. And his eyes are twice as big. And I just am like, yeah, what the hell did I just walk into? This guy's not from around here.
How far away from him are you?
Probably from me to
just a few feet.
Yeah, just talking distance.
Okay.
And I'm starting to freak out. But then he starts to talk to me, and it's not my language, but it's coming to the understanding is like coming into my mind about every word he's saying. So
he's actually saying words.
He's saying words, but it doesn't sound like anything I've heard before.
But you're understanding what he's saying.
But I'm understanding. So I know there's a
So now we got telepathy and motherfucking verbal manipulation or some shit.
Thing going on here.
Yeah,
and it calms me down.
Let's touch on that for a brief second. A lot of what connects these phenomenon is the idea that consciousness is more usable and more utilitarian than we understand or realize. Right now, we think consciousness is really just like a headquarters that all of the sensory input and everything that you do biologically kind of lands on. Right? It just is the identifier in your bottom of your operating system. When in actuality, it has more cognitive abilities than we give it credit for. So much so that I'm under the understanding that a lot of times when they discuss aerial phenomenon not of this world, it's piloted by intelligences that are using their consciousness. There's no joystick. There's no button.
Exactly. Yeah, there's no physical input like we have.
Right.
It's like I say, it's all what do you want to say, biomechanical or
yeah. But it's the biomechanical connection is not even hardline connection. It's Wi-Fi.
Right.
Using
right.
You know what I mean?
So it's even better, and that would be more mental, like you said, telepathic.
Telepathic, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like imagine that Elon.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm saying imagine like the Elon Musk Neuralink thing.
Yeah, the Neuralink.
Imagine that going like 10G.
A fucking million times our capacity. So,
right.
It's interesting you say this, right? So we've always been said our brain capacity. I think we might have definitely less than what 15% or something like that. They say we might even use
10 to 20 is the high and low. I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So imagine something that has be able to reach consciousness and understanding to where you're able to telepathically communicate in a different language to where your brain processes, hey, this is, let's just say for the shits and giggles, Mandarin Chinese, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they have the power to translate into your understanding what they're saying in a different language.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, this is crazy.
Well, I think the fundamentals behind that, like if you look at language, as far as we know it, language follows like the rules and laws of syntax and language kind of follows patterns that suggest it's algebraic. So what I'm saying is you take a letter. To make a word, you have to string some letters together. And then to make a sentence, you have to string a bunch of words together, right? Yep. So it's like building a math problem. But the end result is the conveyance of images and thoughts that originate in the mind. I think the ability to leapfrog over being required to express yourself using algebraic patterns allows you to immediately translate any language into something anything can understand immediately, even if you've never seen that language before, simply by being able to install thoughts directly. So now you're associating, instead of the word with a thought, you're now associating the thought with a word. The thought comes first, and when you hear the word, you automatically make the connection. Whereas we hear words and translate them into thoughts.
Translate on the back end.
On the back end, you got it.
On at the same time, because I'm having to respond to him, and he's like, "Hello, I'm having trouble with my craft. I need some repair material. Do you know where I could find some tritium?" And this is what.
Tritium. Do you know what tritium is?
Never heard of it, sir.
Okay.
He's talking to me about, and I'm like, you mean titanium? Because I didn't know anything about tritium at the time. But titanium, he's like, no, it's not it. And I'm like, well, at this point in my career, I had just left the program. So I knew where Dreamland was, and I pointed to the mountain range because you can see for days in the desert. But I pointed towards the mountain range, and I said, Dreamland's just over there. And this wave of emotion hit me like disgust. Like, I am not going to talk to those barbarians and murderers.
Wow. So he was saying that to you, like his reaction to going to the military base.
Exactly. Yeah. He did not like it. He said, I am not going to talk to those people.
All right. So tritium. Tritium is symbol T or 3H are rare radioactive isotopes of hydrogen with a 12.32 year half-life containing 1 proton and 2 neutrons. It emits low energy beta radiation and used in nuclear weapons, self-powered lighting, exit signs, fusion research. Tritium forms tritiated water, posing health risks if ingested in large quantities through its disperses quickly in the body. So tritium is what he's saying.
And then I was like, well, shoot.
And it was barbarians and murderers?
He literally, that was what he called them, yes. And mentally, that's what it was. But the emotion.
Tritium, is this a real thing?
Well, that's what, I've had a lot of friends. There's analysts also that were on the top secret network that were trying to help me understand what material.
We were throwing everything at him. We're like, is it this? Is it this? And he's like,
finally,
no.
That's the one. When they hit tritium, I was like, that's what it was.
So you're thinking at this time, though, it's a metal.
I am, yes.
Right, because you're thinking it's some kind.
I think it's different. You know what tritium is. Tritium is that glow in the dark on the compasses. Remember when you did land nav, the little needle on the old school compasses would glow in the dark, or like watches or altimeters, the old school from like Nam era stuff before Molly gear. That was painted in like a glow in the dark. That's a mild radioactive isotope that glows. It absorbs light, UV, right? That's what. But he said tritium.
Tritium. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to.
I mean, we've seen tritium you and I. You know what I mean? Like it's all over the place. Any old military vessel, if you can see the damn dash at night, it's tritium.
Like titanium, some type of
right. And there's also
this is the 3D image of what the craft looks like.
That is almost as spot on as I've ever seen. That is about it right there. That's almost exactly what I saw resting on the desert floor.
And so you were trying to find.
That's another thing that you notice too, right? So even the design of the craft, like, because let's just think of the classic like UFO to where it's circular, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which in itself defines. It defies flight because aerodynamics should be pointy in the front or you know what I'm saying, something that's able to cut through the air and then help generate the lift, right, and go from there, right? A lot of the alien crafts, and this is where something where it always leaned to me where, bro, the level of aeronautical engineering, understanding, propulsion, gravity defiance, or whatever it is, just that tech within itself has to be astronomical. Just off, if you look off to the design of it, because it defies everything we understand for maintaining flight.
Right. Yeah. So what you're seeing when you see that, anything is designed like that and it's able to do things, it's satisfying a completely different set of constraints that we're not used to seeing. So, for example, if you see something that's disc shaped, it's able to move because it's fundamentally ignoring the principles of flight that are associated with air. That's of no consequence. It's using something else. It's using like what we would call electrogravitics, which is using electricity to combat the effect of gravity, right? When you see things like semiconductors, low temperature semiconductors, they can float in things in position in midair. when you start to use the flow of electrons to create lift or to disrupt or oppose gravity, the shape that you would need to take changes, and it would probably be circular because you're going to use a spinning metal. You know, like you need to put metal into motion in order to really align electrons and make them usable. Was, you know, like back in the day, you take a magnet, you make a magnet out of a nail by rubbing it in one direction, right? So if you were to spin a metal, right, you would start to explore these kinds of effects. And one metal that you would want to spin is mercury because it's liquid at room temperature. And what would the craft look like if your lift system or propulsion system fundamentally relied on spinning mercury? The shape of your vehicle would take on the form of a disc.
Yeah, because this shit right here doesn't look anything.
Now that is a completely
different people that you can connect this being to.
Yeah.
And what is it saying to you while you're?
He thought that was a good idea, I think, or he was like, I mean, made him. He had that kind of and he wanted to take action, so he doesn't really even say goodbye. He just kind of turns and off he goes back to his craft. And I'm thinking, well, okay. And I get back in the car.
Yeah. That was a wild shape. I can't deduce any sort of function or purpose from that, you know. And there's very little anything that would suggest I would be able to figure that out. But yeah, I mean, he's suggesting that thing flies? Is it airborne?
Yeah, he said it was on the ground at the time. It's craft. Like I said, he had to make repairs to it for whatever reason. So, like you said,
what were you gonna say?
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. So, it was actually shaped like a damn bird.
Yeah, it's right, like it was on haunches, like feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a little sparrow. Yeah,
yeah. So that's all. So that was like, but then, like you said, the technology that would be involved, and then we're talking shit way beyond whatever we understand to be Mach, and we're talking light speed possibilities, not speed of sound, light speed.
Yeah,
because these are coming from, you know, other galaxies and universes or whatnot, what have you, that we could never even fucking know about or fathom.
To get here, you would absolutely have to exceed light speed by a factor of, I mean, by an exponential factor, because even at the speed of light, to get from our solar system to the closest neighboring star at the speed of light would be a 10-year trip.
Yeah.
That means if you set your crosshairs on that star and left here and arriving 10 years at where you aimed at it, that star's gone. It ain't there. It moved.
That's another great point too. So understanding light speed and understanding, like you said, that's how much time it takes the light to get to you from the original destination.
That's 10 years.
When, like you said, if something were to happen to the star in the meantime or teen time, you wouldn't even know it until you got there, and now the star's no longer there because the star's died or so on and so forth and whatnot, what have you.
You at a 20-year deficit. The light you're looking at is 10-year-old light, which means by the time it hit your eyes, that motherfucker could have moved anyway. And then by the time you set off and get to it at light speed, that's an additional 10 years. Wherever that star you saw sitting ain't there no more. It just as it follows its elliptical path around the center of the Milky Way galaxy, that thing will have moved.
Yeah, man. Listen, bro. It's amazing to me, right? And then to think, because we know, you know, of course, the government plays part in a lot of these productions. You know, the moon landing, which I think they're gearing up. They're gearing up to, you know, take another trip to the moon. Well, actually, I think next week they're having a test run for the moon travel or whatnot, right? Or the travel around the moon, and then allegedly another moon landing by the end of the year or next year, I think, right?
China, yeah. So right, yeah. These plans are definitely beyond the theoretical stage. They're developmental and about to go function, you know, operational. But China is already established a presence on both the near side and the far side of the moon. Now it's an unmanned presence, right? It's a remote controlled presence, but they're there trying to mine an isotope called helium-3, which is an isotope of helium that is short 1 electron, whereas helium would have 2 electrons, 2 neutrons. It's helium-4 as a standard atomic number. But helium-3, the benefits to that is, 1, it has supercooling properties, which means the first person to be able to cool quantum computing
wins.
Right.
Exactly. That's why a lot of people don't understand that the quantum computer is going to be out of space and in orbit. They're not even going to house it here.
Right. The bottleneck for quantum computing is management of heat. So helium-3 allows you. It's a great coolant for quantum computing. Another thing it does is it's useful in like the propulsion sciences. Now, I'm not well versed in that, but there's benefits to it.
A major part in nuclear power. Yes. That's one of the most important things.
Exactly. You got it. Right. Now, the problem is, helium-3 is an extremely rare isotope here on Earth. Usually you find it around sites where there was a nuclear blast or a nuclear explosion. It's a result of extremely high energy particle bombardment. The reason why it's on the moon,
the side effects or the after effects of an actual, like I said, nuclear detonation or major disruption, and then the vacuum created from that leaves behind the helium-3.
Exactly, which is why it's so rare, but it's so abundant on the moon because gamma radiation from the sun supplies it with all the high energy particles needed to create it. The reason why it doesn't get to Earth is because either the Earth's magnetosphere, which is what causes aurora borealis, it stops a lot of the gamma rays from reaching Earth, or the atmosphere absorbs its high energy particles, which is why it doesn't make it to the Earth. You need a nuclear explosion to create high energy subatomic.
And because the moon lacks the atmosphere protection, and absorbing the radiation directly, and then the moon is the density of the moon and the what's name help maintain it within the surface. Okay, 100%. Hey man, listen, hey, hit the motherfucking like button. Y'all are getting a this is a free lesson, okay, in motherfucking physics, thermodynamics.
Yeah, you're getting PhD level shit.
Aaron is giving you, this is free motherfucking information. You got to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to motherfucking learn, okay? Hit the motherfucking like button. That's all we asking, man. Hit the like button. Come on now.
Yeah, this is an abbreviation of fundamental sciences at the PhD and NASA operating and research level. These conversations, this is not high school. This is not community college bachelor's.
No.
This is the beginning of some heavy physics of heavy shit. We're getting started, man. We about to go there.
Yeah, man. So let's see. Where is this? What's this? Here we go. So speaking of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of major disruptions and extreme fucking power, this seems to be your expertise. We about to get into the good old CERN.
Let's do it.
Give the people a good synopsis of what CERN is, Aaron.
So CERN is one of many particle colliders. It's a large hadron collider that operates in Sweden, Switzerland. I confuse the two. In Western Europe. And what it is, it's a 7-mile ring that has cross-section circumference that's about, I don't know, let's say 20 feet. And what it is, it's a series of electric and electromagnetic drivers and sensors that surround a small tube or highway whose sole purpose is to take hold of particles the size of an atom and smash them together at close to the speed of light. I would say about 90% of the speed of light is what they're able to achieve. And the reason why it has to be 7 miles long is because at the starting point, they send one particle to the left, one particle heads to the right, and they meet on the other side. And it takes that much distance and space to be able to accelerate these particles to a speed adequate enough to smash them together. Now, what are we looking for by doing such a thing? We want to find out what happens when particles collide with enough force and energy to rip them apart. And I'm not talking about disassembling electrons, protons, neutrons. No. We want to take those subatomic particles and shatter them into bits. The information that you gain from that is a peek into the relationship between space and time. The one thing people don't understand is space and time are fundamentally connected. Time is essentially the fourth dimension that we live in. The three spatial dimensions that we live in are length.
Is what we can see. And then, like you said, the time is the theoretically the distance over that it takes for you to get from point A to point B, or so on and so forth.
Precisely. Right. So if you think of three-dimensional space, every dimension allows you to plot a coordinate. So you have length, which is here to there, width, which is left to right, and height, which is bottom to top. Right. And then you can measure incrementally an inch, a mile, a yard, right, along those different axes. And you can plot a point. Same thing with time. It extends forever in two opposing directions, right? The past and future, and it can be measured incrementally, minute, second, hour, day, month, just like distance. And they allow you to not only plot a coordinate in space, but a coordinate in time. So by smashing atoms together, you essentially take a look at the link that fuses space and time together. The reason why you're able to do that, when you start to approach the speed of light, you collapse essentially the glue. You soften the glue that binds space and time together. There's a concept called time dilation, meaning as you move, time slows down for you relative to the person that's observing you standing still. Closer you get,
what was the fucking movie? What was the weird movie?
Interstellar.
Interstellar, exactly.
Yeah,
so Interstellar.
Yeah. So when they were orbiting like high density objects that was able to, develop a velocity close to the speed of light, time moves much slower for them than the time of people that they left on the home ship, right? That's a very real phenomenon. We don't move at speeds quick enough to really notice that. But even still, if you have people that spend their entire lives on airplanes, right, moving at 600 miles an hour all the time, they pretty much are going to be half a second younger than they're supposed to be.
Right. Same way, like I said, due to constant movement from different references, like you said, because you're always moving faster than what everybody else is used to. And then therefore, like you said, when we do quote unquote time zones, right? And then you use pretty much the sun as a way in a reference to set time zones due to the movement of the sun movement of the earth in reference to the motherfucking revolutions of the sun.
Correct. Right. So so even with with satellites, another thing people don't realize that the clocks that govern GPS technology has to tick at a different rate than the clock here on the ground. If it ticked at the same rate, you'd be crashing into shit. Because time when you move away from gravity, time is affected. When you increase speed, time is affected. So when you have a satellite in the air moving at 17,000 miles an hour, that's 120 miles away from the center of gravity, the way time influences it, experiences time is completely different than someone standing still.
Yeah, on Earth. Exactly.
At the center of gravity.
Yeah, like I said, with the influence of gravity and standing in one place versus revolving within orbit.
Yes. So you have to calibrate the clock completely differently, and you would use the atomic clock, which pretty much just counts how many time an atom vibrates in a given space, right? And then you just sync to that. You wouldn't use the Navy master clock, which uses charts.
Yeah, because now you're using anatomic activity versus, like you said, I would guess spatial, right? Spatial or reference.
Navigational, yeah.
Navigational. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Exactly.
Hey man, I'm learning. I'm putting this together. So I'm listen. So Aaron explaining this, I'm taking my aeronautical aspect of it. I'm thinking airplanes, I'm thinking helicopters, I'm thinking whatever. And I know a little bit of physics, I know a little bit, you know what I'm saying, whatever. I'm abreast. So this is a learning experience for me. I'm nerding out right now. This is real shit, right? I hope y'all enjoying it. A lot of people commenting in the chat, man. We appreciate y'all. Matter of fact, let me shout out to my man. Shout out to my man Wes M. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Wes M for the 10, brother. According to our physics, the aliens have to be on a one-way trip. If they travel at the speed of light, if they go back home, it will be 1,000 years into the future. That is what I would as them. I'm confused on that last part.
Yeah, so that's a good start, right? So when they say if they travel at the speed of light, first of all, the speed of light is an inadequate speed to cover distances to reach out to where most of the potential intelligences are. Like I said, the nearest star, Proxima Centauri, is 10 light years away. The diameter of the Milky Way at its furthest ends is 100,000 light years. 100,000 years light travels in a straight line. That's the size of this galaxy. Our galaxy is one in about 400 or 500 billion in the observable universe, as far as we know it. I think the James Webb Telescope has us up closer to 1 trillion galaxies. Ours is a medium size at 100,000 light year diameter. So to traverse the amount of space, even at light speed, that's the slow boat to China. It took you 80,000 years to get to the middle, to get anywhere meaningful. They have to do things that completely transcend the speed of light. In fact,
anything that we could ever imagine, like you said, I guess it would be almost teleportation, like just instantaneous.
Closer to that, yeah. Velocity
from our understanding. So from my understanding, it would be literally like teleporting from here to fucking China, like you said.
Yeah.
To meet up to the mathematical equation that it would be. So like I said, to travel from one fucking solar system, one fucking galaxy to a whole another one.
Yeah.
And arrive there, like you said. And the craziest part, Aaron, is to set course, right? And say, hey, I want to be here in so long and make it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Within our understanding of what time and limitations is for us. It's crazy.
Yeah. The destination is not just a where, it's a when.
Shout out to my man. We got my man Jesse in the building. What's up, Jesse?
What's going on, Mr. Fantastic? What's up, Big A?
Right,
Good to join y'all, man.
Yes, sir. Good seeing you, man.
Yeah, likewise. I'm just sitting there catching up to what y'all are talking about. Sounds like interstellar travel and
theoretical physics, astrophysics, advanced physics, technological stuff, all the stuff.
UFOs being pretty much admitted after they told us they weren't no UFOs, and then trying to, explain in our terms of what that would have to be. So taking UFO travel to what we will understand as human travel capabilities, and then explaining that, I guess.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You two have something in common.
What's that?
We're in
naval aviation wing units.
Oh, what was your rate, bro?
Yeah, I worked on Harriers. It was 6252 in the Marine Corps. That was my MOS. But pretty much airframes and hydraulics mechanic on Harriers.
Okay, dope. Okay.
Well, you worked on helicopters, right?
Yeah, I was a helicopter guy. I was an electrician. So yeah.
Oh, so they still call it AVI in the Navy, I'm sure.
Yeah. AVI, ATs, AEs. I was AE.
Okay, that's awesome, man.
You dealt with sensors and stuff like that?
Me?
No, fantastic.
Yeah, what kind? We deal with all the sensors. We dealt with all. So our systems intertwine with their systems because AE stands for aviation everything, because everything has a cannon plug that goes to it, right? So
yep.
So even hydraulic systems, everything that wasn't a bolt or a fucking screw or hard motherfucking on a thing, we always got blamed for it. So we ended up running, pretty much having to be knowledgeable of everything. One big thing for us was, for the helicopters and just aviation in general, is a motherfucking stabulator actuator, right? So stab is very, very important, right? You want to have automatic stab. He know. Automatic stab is a huge thing, so the pilot doesn't have to look at their thing and it automatically adjusts due to the motherfucking AFCS system, right? Automatic flight control system. and then according to the airspeed, it adjusts to keep them level versus fucking, you know, nose up or so on and so forth. Y'all got me feeling nerdy and back in the Navy. So
we called it SAW in the Harriers. I forgot what it stood for, but SAW is exactly what you're talking about.
So like you said, so as anything, the faster something travels, the nose is going to drift up, right? Because the motherfucking you're going against and you're trying to, you know what I'm saying, you're fighting against the fucking the lift, right? So lift and drag supposed to be equal to maintain even flight. So what you have to do,
speed promotes angle of attack, right? Yeah,
exactly. So the stab has to adjust to and automatically as your airspeed continues to keep the nose from drifting up, right? And you're going off course or whatever, so on and so forth. So yeah, just that shit.
Yes, same with us. So when the Harrier is vertically taking off or landing, that's exactly the switch that we had to hit to do exactly what you said, to keep it from tipping to the side, to the front, or to the back too much. Yeah,
and Harriers were the first vertically takeoff and landing fixed wing.
Yep. Yeah, they the last of them just got decommissioned in place of the Joint Strike Fighter F-35.
Yep. Yeah, vertical and short takeoff and landing, I think it was.
Yep.
V-stall,
right?
V-stall, exactly.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome. Man.
That was it got popular in what was the damn what's the name movie? The Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
True Lies. It was True Lies.
True Lies. That's what it was. Yeah.
They're down there in Miami and shit.
That was
Key West. Yeah.
They got a real Harrier from a squadron that was right next to me to do that.
Mm-hmm. I think it was 224, I think.
Yeah, VMA 542.
Oh, 542. Okay.
They got it. Yeah, they got that movie. Yeah, that's awesome, man.
So the Large Hadron Particle Collider in Switzerland is this large circle where they're basically trying to create antimatter. They're trying to harness the God particle. There's a huge statue of Shiva the Destroyer outside of.
That's important. So when she's referring to the God particle in around 2012-13, one of the collision experiments released a particle called the Higgs boson. The Higgs boson is pretty much a marker or identifier for the quantum foam that all subatomic particles exist in, right? Like when we look at atoms and things, there's an atom that has mass and then there's space in between. But there's a medium that gives mass its substance, that gives it its ability to even exist, because if it didn't, you would convert it to energy, which does not have mass, right? E equals mc squared. Energy equals mass times the square of the speed of light. Things with mass can be massive because of the Higgs boson. They call that the God particle, because what it does is it takes the ability to create something out of literally nothing.
Got a question. Okay, I'm sorry. Would the God particle be the complete opposite of dark matter?
No. So great question, and I can get that real quick. Dark matter is essentially the other side of the coin to standard matter. So you have energy and dark energy, matter and dark matter. There's just a polarity to the existence. So when you think about displacement of a fluid, right? You can fill a cup with water, and then when you drop a ball in it, it displaces the water that's in equal proportion to the volume that the ball can take up.
Yeah.
But when you pull the ball out of the water and don't put the water back, you leave a gap, a void. Right? So whenever you have matter that occupies space, the theory is that gravity is created by matter warping space and time. What happens when that body of mass that occupies space goes away? The space collapses back in to fill up, to fill in the space that was previously occupied. But where is it coming from? Where does it get pushed to? This is where you would find black matter and dark energy.
Okay, and so creating a void, like you said, because now you've disrupted the normal space because of like you said earlier, the incredible increase of energy disbursement in one space all at one time.
Yes. It's the table that water spilled out onto when you put the ball in a filled cup.
Got you. Okay. Shout out to my man Trey, man. Shout out to Trey, the truth teller, brother. Greatly appreciate it for the 10 for the win, bro, on the Cash App, brother. Greatly appreciate you, brother.
the center, and there have been some incredibly dark things witnessed at this space. There have been some people that have caught footage of them doing something that at a minimum looks like a reenactment of a human sacrifice. I don't know why you would do such a thing. Like, this all took place right in front of the Shiva the Destroyer statue. There have been many people that have come forward that basically said when this particle collider is turned on, it actually tears the fibers of our space-time, and it's created kind of these parallel fractures in our timeline.
So explain that to us, Aaron.
Okay. Yeah. So when I was saying that when you get down to the quantum level of a particle, as far as its size, right? Subatomic. You now are looking at spaces so small that our fundamental understanding of the three spatial dimensions that we discussed earlier begins to either collapse or give room for additional dimensions, right? So imagine you have a sheet of paper, that's 2 dimensions. Anything that lives in that 2-dimensional world cannot look up off the sheet of paper and see us in that 3rd dimension, but we can look down and see them. They can only see each other on that flat plane. Now, if you drop a ball into their environment, what it would appear to them, it would look like a spot that grew in size into a disc and then shrank into a spot and disappeared. As the ball passes through the piece of paper, right? You're tracing the contour of the ball. On the other side of that, you can extrapolate the possibility that there are 4 or 5 or multiple dimensions of space outside of the 3 that we know. When you start studying things of extremely diminutive sizes, you can start to explore the possibility of dimensions beyond the ones we're aware of. When you look at a shoebox, you can see it's 3 dimensions: this face, that face, and the top face. Unless you pick it up, then the top face disappears, you can see the bottom face. You spin it around, the 2 faces you were looking at are no longer visible. The back 2 faces, right? You can only see 3 faces at a time because the shoebox is of a certain size. You shrink that shoebox small enough, those faces start becoming indistinguishable and more faces come into view. Those faces exist in other spatial dimensions that we are not calibrated to experience, but you can when you smash an atom to particles small enough.
Okay, so basically, zooming out, and the best, I guess, analogy would be microscope. So looking through a microscope into something. I got you. Okay, cool.
Yeah, zooming in and out on pixelized images. Put that in the 3D. Yep, you got it.
That would be going into the 4th dimension. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. I'm going to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was about to say, that would be going into the 4th dimension, right? Because I just saw a couple articles just poking around on the internet, just talking about they just started to discover the 4th dimension. Like just
yeah.
Is that true?
So the 4th dimension, colloquially, would be considered time. But yes, time set aside, a 4th spatial dimension, would be the start of extra-dimensional exploration. Right now, they theorize the existence or proof of the existence of up to 11, but they're extremely difficult to measure. They can't measure the actual dimension. They measure the effects of dimensions.
Because we could only measure 3. With what we have now, we can only measure 3 dimensions.
Yes.
Right? We can't go outside of that. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
I just our understanding and comprehension of sight only allows that.
Exactly.
By comprehension and like I said, there's just, I guess, like ocular ability or some shit.
So one example of evidence of other dimensions that are at levels above the 3 that we know is a concept called quantum entanglement. Right? Quantum entanglement means one particle can be fundamentally connected to another in a way where if you influence one particle, you'll see an immediate response, not a follow-up response, but an immediate response with the other particle, no matter how much distance you put between those 2 particles. Forget about time and light years, right? You can put it on the other side of the universe. You touch this particle, it jumps. The other particle is going to jump precisely the same time, as if you touched it. What makes that connection is everything has a spin. Electrons spin.
Yeah.
If you take this electron and it spins left, there's an associated electron that goes with it that spins right. It happens everywhere, right?
And then you have the electron field that what I think what it increases and decreases according to the was it the valence, the shell,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Now you're taught right. Right. So exactly.
So now, like you said, you find the two particles that are intertwined, and no matter where you put them in, like said, no matter where you put them in existence in space, immediate, and that's damn, bro. That's
you alter the vector of the spin of the established particle that you have in control, then the other attached particle that spins opposite will respond immediately in mirror fashion by altering the vector of its spin, as if you manipulated the vector of that particle spin, even though it's now on the other side of space and time as we know it. That tells me there's activity, there's connections, there's communication existing at levels and dimensions that supersede ones that we currently are able to understand.
Yeah, to comprehend, yeah.
There's a phone line making a connection in a space that we can't see.
And then
my question, sorry.
No, go ahead. You got it. Go ahead.
I was about to say, my question would be, like, what would tie those together? You know what I mean? And that's something that we just can't conceptualize right now with the human mind.
Yeah, right. So if you look at the space that we currently, the three-dimensional space we have, right? You can use low-level connections to establish, to prove manipulation from one point to another. Look at a sound
like
wave.
magnets or sine waves, magnets. Yeah.
Even better, right? There you go. You exactly. Because electromagnetism operates very well and in a very measurable way in three-dimensional space. But it's very clear that there's a flow of electrons. Something is electron deficient, something else is electron rich, a flow of electrons going one way. You know what I mean? And so you create an attraction. If two things are the electrons are alike, they're both rich or they're both, repelling, then you're not going to get an attraction in three dimensions. So you can understand that connection. Same with a sound wave. You impart energy and vibrate air particles. It's going to vibrate the particle next to it, vibrate the particle next to it, whisper down the lane, carry the wave. But when you start to make connections without any ability to discern a wave or electromagnetic connection or anything like that, there's a connection that's happening in dimensions that we cannot readily observe or measure. Colliding particles allows you to peek through the door into what is going on over there.
Believe that what they're trying to do is create a portal to unleash the demons, the spirits of the Nephilim, to basically let them come out of the gates of hell. They're using technology.
So even with this, right? So this is what you're talking about, to where, quote unquote, we get into the Nephilim, we get into the extraterrestrial, we get into the demons or whatever. What they're talking about is the spaces you're talking about and the dimensions that's created from the collision and the energy disbursement that now we're able to, quote unquote, I guess, see or possibly peek into because you had the disbursement, and now that dimension is exposed because of the void created from the reaction.
Exactly. No, you got it.
Something that we would perceive physically to actually allow a portal for something multidimensional. That's all on the road to something that we won't be able to come back from if we're not careful.
Tell us about. And again, man, that's I think that all this, man, this is what's getting crazy, right? Because quote unquote the God particle, when we start playing this, one of man's fatal flaws is always wanting to be God and play God, right? Do things that we are not prepared for, right? That because like you said, once you open Pandora's box, as they say, there's no closing it, right? So now you have these like I said, like it's two of them, like I said, one in Switzerland, one in wherever.
Well, there's a bunch of them, but at that size and scale and notoriety, yeah, there's one in Switzerland. I think another one somewhere in Asia, maybe Japan, China. But there's a bunch of smaller ones, man. Colleges and universities have them.
Well, speaking of, so they just did this. They just did a thing. Let me show y'all the West name first, and then we'll do this. CERN scientists successfully transported antiprotons, a form of antimatter, by truck across their campus on 3/24/26, world first test. If the opposites come into contact, they annihilate each other, setting off lots of energy depending on the mass. The Associated Press live streams in comments.
Yep.
Antiprotons. Would that be different than antimatter?
So the matter has protons, electrons, neutrons. Antimatter has antiprotons, anti-electrons, anti-neutrons.
That's part of it.
Yeah, these are just subatomic particles of the same classification or order of matter. If matter is a two-sided coin, you have the matter we know, and then the antimatter on the other side of the coin. That matter is made up of particles smaller than itself. This is the tail side of the matter coin, or protons.
Shout out to a man, Purple Haze 80. Appreciate your brother for the 5. Shout out Fantastic and Aaron. Feels like I'm in the episode of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Appreciate you, bro. Ain't nothing but some money. This is definitely somewhere overseas. So I guess this might be the main thing because I don't know what language I'm hearing, but it's foreign language.
It's an Eastern European or something.
Yeah, this might be Switzerland. I don't know.
Maybe German.
Yeah, sounds like it might be German.
That's Switzerland, I think. I'm looking at the plate.
Yeah, I see the Swiss license plate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Switzerland. So I'm guessing this is a way to show that they have a way of producing it and maintaining it to make it travel from point A to point B. I'm guessing that's the point of it.
Yeah.
Make it a container port.
Yeah. You look like you're gonna question, Jay.
No, I was about to say because that whole what was in the back of that truck, that whole machine that they had, that was just to transport one particle.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Any proton.
Yep. Yeah. So something like that. Whenever, like, you guys have pretty good understanding of like nuclear matter, right? And being able to contain nuclear reaction. You would start. You can't just use a glass beaker for some of this stuff, right? Sure. It's either too small or too volatile or too reactive. So you need to start using some pretty exotic methods to contain and stabilize the shit. So, electromagnetics, if it responds to electromagnetism, you can, suspend it in midair. But does it react to air? So now that you suspend it in a vacuum, but let's say it's not electromagnetically responsive. So you would use sound wave to suspend it, which means now you can't have it in a vacuum. You know what I mean? Or
cryo.
There we go. Now we're dealing with temperature fluctuations. You know what I mean? You can use changes in temperature to create pressure to be able to, sustain or stabilize something. You will use superconductors, semiconductors, low temperature and high temperature. There's all kinds of methods. But yeah, whatever it is that you need to sustain an environment that contains something with so much precision, there's going to be a lot of machinery around it. Burning a lot of electricity to create a very specific environment to be able to not only contain, protect, but stabilize whatever this is. And anti-anything, I can imagine, if it touches anything that isn't anti-anything, it would annihilate by, an antiproton touches you, there's a proton in you, and they're going to self-annihilate. So we got to keep this thing away from protons.
That's going to make them disappear or blow up or something.
Oh, yeah, right. You'll lose it. Which I believe just vanishes. It'll turn into energy.
Damn, man. Bruh. And it's crazy, right? And I think this is where we get into all of this stuff like coinciding, because like you said, so theoretically, in order to travel at the speeds and the distances that we're saying, these extraterrestrials, UFOs, I think they call them UAPs or whatnot, what have you, are already using this technology. Are using this technology more likely than not for some sort of propulsion or some sort of to like you said, to create constantly in a and I would say in our best understanding combustion engine, right, or constant firing, right. But being that it's such a strong thing, right, be it strong enough to be one time to go from this universe to that universe, or in succession, like, okay, we have a whole bunch of particle colliders as to where this is motherfucking atomic bomb after atomic bomb after atomic bomb that constantly goes off, you know what I mean, in sequence to supersede motherfucking the speed of light. And like you said, almost do instantaneous fucking time travel because you constantly have these explosions that create the void. And theoretically, the void is another dimension that you get to skip through versus linearly travel.
Yeah, the void is is a potential to open a door, a portal.
In theory, And then then we start talking portals and shit. It's all kinds of crazy. Because like you said, you're into the what do you call it, Aaron? The where the two particles is completely totally separate areas, but
quantum entanglement.
Quantum entanglement. There we go.
Yeah. So we're really I can quick explain that. I know how to traverse through space and time to get you to anywhere you want to go in the universe or the galaxy, right? I can get you to anywhere and when you want to go. The problem is we don't have the equipment or exotic materials, metallurgy, to be able to create a way to harness enough energy to make that happen, which is why we are using extremely small objects to make this kind of a thing happen. If you want to transport a body from here to a place that's millions of light years away, you just need a whole lot of energy or mass. Think about it. You have 4 fundamental forces. 2 are weak, 2 are strong. Gravity, electromagnetism, and the strong and weak nuclear force. If you want to manipulate time and space, which is what you would have to do to get from here to there at great distances faster than the speed of light, you would have to essentially warp space and time in front of you. Pull the carpet towards you. You don't run across the carpet. You bunch the carpet up towards you till the other side of the carpet is up on you. You just take a step forward and then stretch the carpet back out. You need a whole lot of either energy or mass to make that happen. And I'm not talking about the sun. I'm talking about black hole level shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Because like I said, energy and mass are the same.
Super duper intense gravity that, like you said, creates the mass.
Gravity wells.
Exactly. So now you're folding space-time into one and sucking all the space-time into one place. Then oh shit, that's
black
crazy.
Holes do it all the time.
Then somehow you get the black hole to disperse, so you get the fucking what's name from there.
So the black holes do dump somewhere.
There's another side to a black hole.
Because nothing, like you said, nothing can maintain the force and survive it for us to know what happens once you enter it.
Right. A black hole draws in everything, light, everything, and all information. It sucks it in. We don't know where it goes, but it has to go somewhere, because one thing we do know, information never cannot be created or destroyed.
Energy never destroyed.
Exactly.
Just transferred. Yep.
Just transferred or changing state or location. And since energy and mass are fundamentally connected, the same thing, E equals mc squared, energy equals mass times the square of the speed of light. If you convert mass to energy, you take that information and throw it at a black hole, where does it end up going? That's the amount of mass or energy you need to harness to be able to open a door or create a highway to crazy places. I know how to do it. I just don't know how. We don't have the shit to make it happen.
We don't have the stuff that can survive it or that can maintain the encounter.
You need to find a couple of binary star systems and harness all of the solar power of those binary star systems for one trip. You can do that. You go in places.
So time travel is possible. It's
Yeah, you
just
have to.
theoretically.
Yeah. Because like we said, if you want to go to a distance really far away, you would have to leave yesterday to arrive at what you're looking at. If you're looking at a star that's 10 light years away, you're looking at light that's 10 light years old. So to go to what you're looking at right now, you'd have to leave 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's the concept they use in Interstellar. Remember that?
Precisely.
Yeah, that's I think that's the most common thing that we can all think of, even though it's like really crazy. There was I think that the whole way they explained it was confusing, but it was able, you know what I mean, to learn something from it and make it interesting.
There's a nursery rhyme. There's a nursery rhyme I like to give to kids to explain this whole thing to them. There was a lady named Miss Bright. She could travel far faster than light. She left her house one day in a relative way and returned the previous night.
Mm.
She left today and came back last night.
The night before. Yeah, right. That's some hella fast travel right there, man.
Because she's faster than light, right?
Faster than the speed of light.
Now, how much energy is required? Ain't nobody's chemical rocket going to be able to make that happen.
Yeah,
you need enough energy to completely disrupt and fuck up electromagnetic shit on grand scales. But if you can throw two tiny little particles smaller than an atom at each other at close to the speed of light, you can start to explore the possibilities of, right? Because you're scaling it down. You're scaling your requirement down because you're scaling the object, the experiment down.
So what you mean?
Go ahead.
I was about to say, so what you're talking about is it's SAR. That device in Switzerland's name is SAR, right?
CERN.
CERN. So you would need pretty much to make an engine out of take a bunch of CERNs and make them into an engine in order to do what you're talking about.
You would need to throw my body across the universe. You would need a CERN with a dimension about that would match the orbit of Saturn. CERN is 7 kilometer radius. You would need a radius to fit the orbit of planets past the Goldilocks zone. And you need a couple of suns to power that thing. Now you can take my body and put it where you want, but we can't do that. So what we do is we get an atom or something smaller and use a 7 kilometer radius and fuck around with that. Same effect.
Yeah, that's again, man. So in your, if you had to guess, Aaron, what's the ultimate goal for CERN and for us? Is it weaponry? Is it energy? Is it travel? Or is it a combination of everything we can possibly think of?
The goal of CERN is the goal of any scientific research device. Simply discovery. The question that you're asking gets answered once the data from that discovery gets put in a pair of hands. Then you ask the hands carrying that copy, what do you want to do?
I got you.
I bet. I'm sorry, but I bet that they use the data that they got from CERN to make railguns and to get that technology along with magnetism, of course.
Sure. 100%. Look at Oppenheimer and the nuclear project, Manhattan Project. That was just discovery. That was just what happens with high energy particles.
And then the application is dependent upon, like I said, the user or the person that has it.
Now we're taking X-ray pictures. We got power plants, and we blowing our asses up. Right. It depends.
Yeah. And like I said, if we think of it, it could be all of those things in one. It could definitely be an energy source. Yeah. It could be possible energy source, possible dimensional travel. If you know what I'm saying, we were able to get the other things necessary for for surviving and a whole bunch of other shit. Yeah, man, that's crazy, bro.
But really, it's just a bunch of scientists looking at what happens when small high density particles become in a state of critical mass, and you know what I mean. You compromise the energy balance. What happens when you release that energy, whether it's fission or fusion, which is crazy. Fission and fusion both release energy. If you combine atoms in the process of fusing them, you fuse hydrogen to create helium, you release energy. But if you split helium into hydrogen, you still release energy. That's the process of fission. Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That tells you how free energy is.
Yeah, that is definitely crazy. But hey, man, man, this was definitely informative. This was fucking fun, man. Shout out to Aaron, bro. Shout out to Aaron, bro. Aaron hit me up. He said, "Hey, man, we gotta do a show, brother. I greatly appreciate it, man. This shit was more fun than what it usually is. Hey, man, you're welcome back anytime, brother. Oh, most important, hold on, Aaron, drop your link in the chat, man. Hey,
Sure.
everybody that's here, bro, go sub to Aaron, bro. Go sub to Aaron. Make sure you support this brother, man.
We got the War Report. Yeah, it's the War Report. Myself, this gentleman here, Jesse, aka Maverick, and another gentleman named Mr. Chill Out. We try to post material whenever we can. If we do collaborations like this with other people, you can find it on our page. We have a great backlog and history of material featuring us and Mr. Fantastic and our friends over at This Might Be Risky. Lots of connections are made. Myself, Chill Out, Fantastic, Hamp, and Maverick here have for years been friends and are developing quite a community between all of us, right? And we do meetups and stuff all the time. So yeah, support all the channels, man. There's a great connection here. We're all family. I'm gonna get this link and post it.
Definitely.
Most definitely.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like we're about to wrap up soon, huh? So yeah, thanks for having me on the show, man.
Hey, man, thank you, bro.
For sure. I'll definitely be jumping on more often now, man. You know, life has been throwing some curveballs recently, man. But you know,
that politician shit, boy. You know, life of a damn legislator.
Oh man,
saving the world, man.
That could be a whole episode, man, on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, appreciate for having me, and I'll definitely be back again. Is this going to be an ongoing thing?
Tinfoil Tuesdays every Tuesday, man. I talk about all the conspiracy stuff. I talk about science stuff. I talk about anything that's we basically been told didn't exist, was a lie or whatever. So we do everything from UFOs to science to Nephilim, demons to 9/11, whatever. Any and everything they told us wasn't the thing, bro. We cover it on Tuesday. So every Tuesday, man, we do it. So again, you're welcome anytime, bro. I appreciate you.
For sure. Thanks, brother.
I'll be around more often, yeah.
Hey, most definitely, man. Appreciate y'all gentlemen for coming through.
Yes,
Hold on, Aaron, check the don't leave yet, Aaron. Don't leave.
Okay. I'm trying to find a link to my damn channel. Are you able to pull it up, Jesse? I don't know why it's not in my
I got you. Hold on.
I can't pull up the chats either.
Yeah, okay. You were able to do it. Damn.
Hey, Aaron, check the back chat.
Yes, sir.
Let me see. Hold on, I got it. I'll find it for you.
Okay. Oh, all right. Yeah. Okay. I can do that. Okay. That would be cool. I don't know what. Okay.
Wait.
All right.
Just text me your link to my just text me your link on the phone.
Yep.
And that'll be easy. That way I can just click it. All right, cool. Appreciate y'all, man.
All right, gentlemen. Have a good night.
Yep, you too. Hey, man, greatly appreciate y'all for coming up, pulling up on me, man. This is one of my favorite Tinfoil Tuesdays. Y'all know how we do, man. Hey, put your motherfucking tinfoil do-rag on. You know what I'm saying? Your tinfoil hat. And pull up on us next week, man. All right? You got me. You feel me? When y'all get to where I'm about to sing you, tell them Fantastic sent you, man. And that's that on that one. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Holla, we out.